Hey guys, we are back and today we are doing lesson 5. So we are in chapter 6. This chapter is all about multiplying and dividing decimals, and we are on page 403 for this lesson. Lesson 5, multiplying decimals. So the last time we had a lesson, we multiplied decimals by whole numbers. So it looked something like this. We did like 4 times 0.5. And so this number does not have a decimal in it, but this number does. So we put the number that has more digits on top, put our single digit on the bottom, and then multiply it as usual. 5 times 4 is 20. Put the 0 down, carry the 2. 0 times 4 is 0. Plus 2 is 2. And now we count how many digits do we have after a decimal point. Okay, so here's a decimal point, 1 digit. So we go to the end and we hop over 1 digit and we get 2.0 for this answer. All right, so today we are going to practice multiplying decimals by decimals. So we're not going to have whole numbers in our problems today. Each number will have a decimal in it. So we need to know what to do in that case. And you know what? It's really not that different. You've been practicing counting your digits that come after the decimal place, and that's all we're going to still do. There's just going to be more digits and more places to hop over in our product. So on page 403, looking at example number 1, it says Nina is buying peanuts in bulk. The peanuts cost 75 cents. For each pound, she purchased 2.1 pounds of peanuts. So I'm circling my important information here. How much will Nina pay? Okay, first they want you to round to the nearest cent. Okay, so yeah, so I noticed in my answer I'm gonna have 3 digits. So when we talk about money, we only take our number out to 2 places. When we have money, we always just go to the hundredths place. So we're probably going to have to round to the nearest hundredths place, which we'll get to at the end. All right, so let's multiply 0.75, so 75 cents, times 2.1. Now, I told you last time, whichever number has more digits, let's put that on top. So it looks like 0.75, that's more digits than 2 and 1. So we're going to put that on top, 0.75 times, now watch this. We are not lining up decimals, remember? We are just lining up our places. So the decimal does not have its own place. So it looks like that. Crazy, right? We're lining up digits when we multiply. We line up decimals when we add and subtract. We line up digits when we multiply. So the decimal is not even its own place when we multiply. All right, so then we multiply as we normally would. 5 times 1, we're ignoring the decimals for now. 5 times 1 is 5. 7 times 1 is 7. 0 times 1 is 0. All right, remember this kind of multiplication? Put a placeholder there. We are done with that one. Now everybody's going to focus on the 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Put a 0 down, carry that 1. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 1 is 15. Put the 5 down, carry the 1. 0 times 2 is 0, plus 1 is 1. Then we add these lines together. Put a placeholder there if you want to. 5 plus 0 is 5. 7 plus 0 is 7. 0 plus 5 is 5. 1 plus 0 is 1. Okay, not too bad with that adding. Now we go back into the numbers that we were multiplying and we count how many digits were there to the right of decimal points all together. So this time we have to go line by line. Here's a decimal point. How many digits do you see after the decimal point here? 1, 2. Okay, so there's 2 there. How many digits do you see after the decimal point here? Just the 1, right? So 2 plus 1, 1, 2, 3, is 3. So let's hop back into our problem. 1, 2, 3 places. And that is where our decimal point belongs. The product is 1.575. Very important. Now, this doesn't answer the money question though. So 1.575 is the answer to this multiplication problem, yes. When we talk about money, we only want 2 places after the decimal. So we have to decide, does this 5 bump this 7 up to an 8? Is it 5 or above? Do we give that 7 a shove? Or is it 4 or less? Well, obviously 5 is 5 or above. So that 7 gets shoved up and it becomes $1.58. Okay. Next, page 404, example 2. DeMarcus is buying a new guitar pick that costs 50 cents. The sales tax is found by multiplying the cost of the guitar pick by 0.06. What is the cost of the sales tax for the pick? So let's write it out. We need to find 50 cents times basically 6 cents. Okay, so this is what we're doing. We have the same amount of digits, so it doesn't matter who goes on top. In this case, the decimals just happen to line up anyway because that's where the digits lie. All right, so let's multiply. Remember, we are ignoring the decimals for now. 0 times 6 is 0. 5 times 6 is 30. Put the 0 down, carry the 3. 0 times 6 is 0 plus 3 is 3. Placeholder. Now we're done with the 6. We're done with that. Let's multiply everybody by the 0. Now, obviously, it's going to be 0 times 0 is 0. 5 times 0 is 5. 0. 0 times 0 is 0. Okay? And you don't, this might seem silly, but let's just do it because we have another 0 here. So now we have 2 placeholders, and 0 times 0 is 0. 5 times 0 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. Okay. 0. 0. 3 plus 0 plus 0 is 3. 0. 0. Okay. Now we count. How many places were there next to the right of decimal points here? Here is a decimal point, and we have 1, 2 digits here. Here's a decimal point, and we have 1, 2 digits here. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we hop back into the problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my answer is 0.03. Any of these little tag-along zeros that there's no other numbers after them and they're just kind of like hanging off the end there when I have a decimal, I do not need them. So it's 3. In this case, that means 3 cents. $3 is the sales tax. The product is close to the estimate. So the estimate was 1 times 0, 0. $0. Yeah, 3 cents is pretty close to $0. 3 pennies is really almost nothing. All right, so let's now do the guided practice on page 404. So number 1, 0.6 times 0.8. Same amount of digits and keeping them in line. Ignore those decimal points for now. Let's just multiply. 6 times 8 is 48. 0 times 8 is 0, plus 4 is 4. Placeholder, everybody by 0. 6 times 0 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. Add 8 plus 0, 8. 4 plus 0, 4. 0 plus 0, 0. We have how many places next to a decimal point? 1, 2. So let's hop in. 1, 2 from the end. Our answer, 48 hundredths. 0.48. Next, number 2. 1.7 times 2.4. Again, we have the same amount of digits, so nope, doesn't matter who's on top. 7 times 4 is 28. Put the 8 down, carry the 2. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 2 is 6. placeholder. We're done. We're done. Let's focus on the 2. 7 times 2 is 14. Put the 4 down. Carry the 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. Add. 8 plus 0 is 8. 6 plus 4 is 10. 3 plus 1 is 4. 1, 2 digits after decimal points. See, here's a decimal point. Here's a decimal point. 1, 2. So let's hop in. 1, 2. That's where we put our decimal point. Okay, and last one. 0 and 9/10 times 3 and 8/10. These are just getting bigger and bigger. Ignore those decimal places at first. 9 times 8 is 72. Put the 2 down, carry the 7. 0 times 8 is 0, plus 7 is 7. Placeholder. Done with that, done with that. 9 times 3 is 27. Put the 7 down, carry the 2. 0 times 3 is 0, plus 2 is 2. 2 plus 0, 7 plus 7, 14. 2 plus 1 is 3. All right, how many digits did we see after a decimal point here? Here's a decimal, 1 digit. Here's a decimal, 2 digit. 1, 2. 3 and 42 hundredths. All right, we're going to do some practice problems together. And then you're going to work on independent practice on pages 405 and 406. Let me know if you have any questions.